Hello, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whenever and wherever you're watching this lesson from. All right, so warehousing is one of the commercial services that help trade to take place. Okay, without which trade wouldn't be possible, or it would be difficult. Okay, so now, what's the difference between a warehouse and warehousing? A warehouse is a large building in which goods, raw materials, or commodities are stored, whereas warehousing is the storage of goods to protect them from bad weather before sale. Now, some of you may be thinking that warehousing is not important, or warehouse is not what? Important. Now, I want to make mention or make it clear that warehouse is very, very important in that, number one, it helps to protect goods against climate conditions. Not only protecting goods against climate conditions, but also protection of goods from theft. Producers can also store raw materials for future production in what? In warehouses. Production, goods produced in advance can be stored before being finally what? Being finally sold. Why? Because we know that we cannot just produce goods when they are needed, but we can produce in advance and store them before they what? Before they are finally sold. Shortages in the market can be avoided. Yes, because you've already produced goods. So shortages can be minimized because in an event where a machine stops working, it means that you continue selling because you've already produced a lot of goods and products in what? And they're just in warehouses. Okay. Price fluctuations can be minimized. Yes. Price fluctuations can be minimized in the sense that simuza produce vambili vintu you just flood the market with a lot of goods and a lot of products. You will know how to control the flow of what? Goods or products, because vikapaka per market, most of the people will be the price will do what? The price will come down. Okay, it will be just an advantage to a consumer, but not you, the producer. The producer, it will be total loss. Again, international trade wouldn't be possible without warehousing. It's not possible to conduct international trade without warehousing. Traders can keep their cargo in bonded warehouses before they pay the duty. Okay, before they pay duty. This is what bonded warehouses. We'll look at this when we'll be looking at types of warehouses. Okay, so warehouse is also important because it plays an important role when demand for production or time for production is what? Is seasonal. All right. It also provides place for display of what? Of goods. Now, having looked at importance of warehouses, let's look at types of warehouses. We have retailers' warehouse or depots. Now, these they are used to store bulk purchases for wholesalers or producer. Goods are packed and branded in warehouses. Retailers can purchase goods when they are cheap and they can stock excess purchase so that goods are always available to fill in the space on shelves. These are retailers' warehouses. Okay? Warehouses or depots. Now, we also have wholesalers' warehouse. This one is used for blending, grading, packaging, and also branding. Also, it is used to store goods from variety of manufacturers. Okay, to store bulky purchases from producers. Warehouses help to stabilize prices. I've already explained this when when we were looking at importance of warehouse. Okay, this is the wholesalers' warehouse. You also have cash and carry warehouses. These retailers can buy in small quantities. Then also they are cheap. Why? Because of bulky purchases, no credit facility, no delivery. Okay. Apart from cash and carry warehouses, we also have cold storages. Cold storages, these are special warehouse with refrigerating plants. Okay, they're usually used for perishable items. Okay, a temperature can be controlled here, and insulation is what is done. Now, these are vehicles like yani like wasam beef or butcheries here. Okay, amenakalinga nyama or fruits, vegetables. Moda ma fruits from Mbala, muleta kumpira ku Livingstone. Of course, kufunga special carriage. Okay, carriage. Or nyama simunga zibuye sabezaho la road. Okay. So cold storages are also a form of warehouses. Alright. And they are usually mobile. Then you also have regional distribution centers. These are owned and maintained by large-scale retailers or wholesalers, located close to a good road network. Okay? Supermarkets, multiple chains, variety chains, franchise, chain of department stores, hypermarkets. Mainly, they use regional distribution centers. Then we have manufacturers' warehouses. That's from the word manufacturers. These are producers. So they need to store finished goods and also raw materials. And also help producer to carry on production when there is shortage of raw materials. Can also help the producer to keep on production when there is less demand. The producer can get benefit of trade discount, okay, after purchasing raw materials in bulk. Yeah, we know this. Okay, because you're going to purchase raw materials in bulk and store them in manufacturers' warehouses. So there's a benefit of getting trade discount, and these usually are located in manufacturers' production houses. Then we have public warehouses. What are these warehouses? These are owned by public sector, such as the government. Okay, Okay, so different government agencies can stock their materials. and they can also be available on rent to private sector. These are public warehouses. My favorite is bonded warehouses. What are these? Bonded warehouses are also owned by the government and under the control of custom authorities. They are used to store dutiable goods on which duty is not yet paid. Order from China, for example, products, they need to be, before they are cleared, before you pay taxes, okay, or customs duty, you need they need to be kept in the what? They need to be kept in the bonded warehouse. Okay, these are normally located on ports. Traders have to pay the rent. Grading, blending, packaging, branding, and sub-assembly can be done. Now, you should also know that a trader can only sell the cargo and the new can also sell the cargo and the new owner has to pay the duties. Okay, vakukanga kulipira, you can sell and the new owner pays the duties. Nothing can be taken out of the warehouse without paying duty. This is what you should know. Trader can pay some of the duty and can get proportional amount of cargo released. Okay, exporting can cannot be done without paying duties. Okay, so this enables the government to collect custom duties. Government gets information about the types of goods imported. So bonded warehouses, very, very important. Now, someone may ask, what is the difference what are the differences between bonded warehouse and ordinary? Bonded and the ordinary warehouses. Bonded warehouses are located near ports, whilst ordinary warehouses no specific location. Bonded warehouses are controlled by custom authorities, whereas just ordinary warehouses are controlled by the owners. Bonded warehouses stores dutiable goods. Ordinary warehouses store finished goods and raw materials. Bonded warehouses, dutiable goods cannot be removed. Yes, we know this. In bonded warehouses, dutiable goods cannot be removed until duty is paid. Here there is free movement of goods in and out in ordinary warehouses. Then we have this bonded warehouses are owned by government, whereas ordinary warehouses are owned by private sector. Okay, so these are the types of warehouses and the differences between bonded and ordinary warehouses. So you should know this, please. Thank you so much for watching.